Hello, I'm Angela Zirkelbach. I'm a student at USI. I'm a senior in the dietetics program, and today I'm going to talk to you about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are one of the three main nutrients in the diet, and I'm kind of going to give you some examples of carbohydrates as being bread, pasta, oatmeal, beans. It's not just grains. Carbohydrates are also in fruit and then starchy vegetables. Carbohydrates are a source of fuel. It's the main source of fuel in the diet, and it can also be subdivided into two categories for the grains as whole grains or refined grains. So in this education material, I kind of broke it down into whole grains and refined grains, as well as what you find in the whole grains and what you find in refined grains, being the added sugar. So first, with whole grains, we're going to talk about where you can find them. For example, you can find whole grains in whole wheat flour and brown rice and oatmeal. And when you're at the store and you're trying to figure out, well, what can I buy that contains whole grains? Well, look at the label. And in the label, when you look at the ingredients list, look for the words whole grain. And that's a good way to find whole grains and put them in your diet. So a little information behind whole grains. When it comes to whole grains and refined grains, the reason why we say whole grains are a little bit healthier is because they haven't been processed and lost the nutrients. When when grains are processed, they lose like the fiber and the essential nutrients. Fiber plays a very big role in our body. When we eat fiber, it helps attach to cholesterol and it helps the body get rid of the cholesterol. So by eating a diet high in fiber, you're able to help aid this lowering of the LDL cholesterol levels, which is the bad cholesterol. So some examples of high fiber foods are whole grains and apples and pears with the skin and legumes. Okay, so the next part of my education material is refined grains. Refined grains are the grains that have gone through this process and lost the fiber and other vitamins and minerals that would otherwise be in the whole grain. Some examples of refined grains are white flour, white rice, and white bread. When processing for refined grains, they do it to increase the shelf life, and it gives the grain a finer texture. But when they do this, it loses the fiber and the other minerals and vitamins that are also found in that part of the kernel. Found in refined grains, and is also just another big portion of carbohydrates, and why we want to, like, what we don't want to talk about when we talk about carbohydrates is the added sugar. It's something that people forget about. Sugar in the diet can be naturally occurring, such as what's in fruit and milk, and then but it also can be added during preparation or processing. So one of the things that you want to be aware of is to limit the added sugars by choosing foods and beverages with less sugar. Some examples of foods with high added sugars are like sodas, and juices also have a lot of added sugar, and sweetened tea, and like coffee if you add a lot of sugar and other things to it. And then candy and sweet rolls and cookies and other things like that. So thank you for your time, and thank you for taking a look at my education material, and good luck on your program.